we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So
how you said it? Air it out. Air it out.
Air it out.
You heard Trey Thomas. This is an Air It Out podcast right here live with you guys. I'm Jerome Jones. I'm here with my guys. I got Darren Braxton and I got Avery Collins. What's going on, my guys?
Yo. What up?
What's good, people? You already know Big Trust in the building. Repping my team all day.
Yeah, man. Big trust. Got the boy Avery Collins you here live again. So thank you everybody for being in here, chatting it up, being in here. Make sure everybody that's in here, chat it up. Leave your comments, talk about everything you want to. We're gonna talk some NFL football. I'm about to say college football because I'm used to the RPO podcast. But we're gonna get into some NFL news. But before we get to that, I want to discuss something because I'm a Nuggets fan.
Oh.
Big trade today.
Go.
I'm upset about it. I'm personally upset about it. I want to hear you guys. You know, what are some of the your favorite or some of the surprising trades of the trade deadline so far for you guys? I'm starting off with Avery because I know Avery's a big basketball guy himself.
Well, first of all, Heat Nation, man, we just got Victor Oladipo, and there's talks about us landing LaMarcus Aldridge as well from the Spurs via buyout, so that would be super clutch. We did lose Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley for Victor Oladipo, and I'm kind of torn about that only because Avery Bradley is a great defender, and Kelly Olynyk, I felt like kind of really found his niche in our system. But, you know, Victor Oladipo takes some pressure off of Jimmy on the wing to score, and LaMarcus Aldridge coming in gives us some size and veteran presence, and he can help develop Bam a little bit in the post as well. I mean, the Nuggets thing, I at first I was like, I don't know if I like it, but I'm like, Aaron Gordon is a dog, right? And he's still developing. He can still ball and different things. But Gary Harris, that's the one that really, I'm like, man, I like Gary Harris, man. He can ball. So I feel like that was a strange one. But really the one that got me, Lou Will for Rondo. That one, man. Oh, my goodness. Lou Will in Atlanta with Trey Young. That's going to be – you're talking about buckets. But then Rondo and the Clippers, I'm trying to tell you, Rondo is different, man. People don't understand. Rondo really changed the culture during the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting.
Rondo, man. Playoff Rondo. That's a different animal, man.
Different, man.
Woo. Yeah, I just feel – I didn't like the Nuggets trade. I just feel like it was we need to hurry up and, make a run in the playoffs now. We're getting deep now kind of thing. And I'm just like, bro, just like stick with what you got and, just grow from there. Y'all was doing a good job with recruiting and developing your players and stuff like that. And like you said, I think Gary Harris is a phenomenal player. I love him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Aaron Gordon, good piece to put in there. I think he's going to be doing well. He's going to help out the team, but I just think that it was a little bit too much just for him.
I think the reason that they did it mainly is because Gary Harris is a guard, right? And he's not gonna start over Jamal, right? Yeah. And so it's like essentially not wasting talent because he's great off the bench and everything like that. But you take Aaron Gordon, you look at what Nikola Jokic is doing right now. He's leading the team in almost everything: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, minutes, right? All of those different things. Aaron Gordon now takes some of the pressure off of Jokic to do all of that work because he's a low post player where he can go and get some of those rebounds, take some pressure off of Jokic. So he can go in there and do some of the dirty work and go and get some blocks. And that allows Jokic to actually be free to play a little bit like he likes to play, which is actually a little more on the wing because he likes to pass and facilitate and do things like that. So I think it takes the pressure off of him, and Aaron is athletic enough to play on the wing as well. So I think that's the reason that he did it. But like I said, initially I was like, ooh, Gary Harris. No, but, you got to give him something to get something. So
first round, and it was one other player. I forget who it was. Darren, you have anything else to say about the trade deadline before we get to NFL?
Yeah, so I got a few actually. First, Gary Harris was too much for Aaron Gordon for me. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have did it. I just wouldn't have did it. Like, I understand they probably like what they're starting to see more of Michael Porter as well. And like Avery said, the down low stuff, Aaron Gordon is a dog. And his defense is very underrated. He's pretty good and versatile because he can defend a 1 to at least almost a 5. At least. So the guy knows what he's doing. It's a great pickup for him. But to give up a guy like Gary Harris is just that's a threat right there every time he steps on the field. Like, every time he steps on the court, threes. He gets to the bucket. He knows what he can do. He can facilitate very well. He's not the greatest rebounder, but, hey, I guess that's just what they want. For me, I like the trade, honestly, of Trevor Ariza as well to the Heat for Myers Leonard. That's a sneaky good pickup that I'm telling you in the playoffs, you better watch out for. Because that guy knows what he's doing defensively. He's a 3-and-D guy. And the Heat are going to be a monster on the wings. That 1-4 spot is ridiculous right now. Just ridiculous. And the trade that I really wanted to see happen but didn't, Lowry to the Sixers. And I understand why it didn't happen, because to give up Maxey, picks, and Thibault, or to give up Danny Green, Thibault, and picks, that's just way too much to lose for the Sixers. Yeah. This is way too much to lose right now. I'm fine with the trade for George Hill. I feel like Tim Bradley was doing pretty well at center with Embiid out, but George Hill, when the playoffs come, having Ben Simmons fully healthy, having Joel fully healthy, still having Danny Green and Seth Curry, that's going to be good. That's going to be a good team and definitely a team that can make it far. But
yeah,
Gary Harris for Aaron Gordon.
You know, that's around here where Sixers. Well, I'm not a Sixers fan, but I'm a Sixers supporter. So hopefully, the Sixers are going to be a lot better. They've been doing really well this year.
Hopefully not. Heat Nation here.
Anyway, that person coming on here. Johnny Dean, what's up? He said, "What's up, guys? What's up, Johnny? Thank you for being on and checking us out." If anybody else have comments, just put it right down there, put it in there. But we're gonna go to our first topic. We already talked about NBA, their trade deadline. We got the NFL free agency. So the free agency just kind of wrapped up a little bit. We're on I think it's considered phase 3 at this point, where it's a little dead, slow. You get your backups, low contract guys, and things like that. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the actual free agency. Who improved the most to you guys? I'm gonna start with Darren, man. What team improved the most to you? And I don't want to hear the Patriots. I want to hear somebody else, because we already know.
Oh, I got one for you. You know I'm not lying. You know I don't talk about that Patriots. I'm gonna say that for Mr. Darius, man. But for me, the team that really improved overall, whether it be trades, whether it be free agent acquisitions, the Cardinals. The Cardinals, the way that they're supplying talent around Kyler Murray is ridiculous. They gave him an all-pro Pro Bowl center and Rodney Hudson in the trade for basically nothing. Mm-hmm. Then you add a AJ Green to take over the Larry Fitzgerald role. And as well, they end up getting Malcolm Butler to try to replace for the corner position. They know what they're doing. They're loading up very well. And they're betting on themselves to finally make the playoffs and try to make some noise. It's being Kyler Murray's third year now, second year now with DeAndre Hopkins. I really like what they're doing, and they're all betting. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention J.J. Watt? I must have forgot. Oh, yeah. I must have forgot that part. They got J.J. Watt out of nowhere. So
it's funny, as you're saying, I just got an alert on my phone that they're getting have Colt McCoy visiting as a backup quarterback. So they're trying to load up, man. They're
doing what they have to do to get into the playoffs and make some noise. That's what I like to hear. Because, hey, Cliff Kingsbury, you got to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
You have your number one guy. You have your number one wide receiver. Your defense is improving very much so. This is going to be Isaiah Simmons, also second year in the league. So he should be developing a whole lot more. That versatility we might finally be able to see a linebacker and safety. So, hey, let's see what they got.
What do you think, Avery?
Man, I'm going to go with my top 3. I do like the Cardinals, but they just missed my top three. I think I have them at 4. Number 3, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. They brought back their entire defense. That was huge. I know it's not a free agency thing, but they had players on their defense that were free agents, and they re-signed it. And so it's just like, yo, that is huge. And the last piece to fall was Ndamukong Suh, so they were able to get their entire defense back. I don't think people really understand how significant that is, right? Because chemistry is huge when it comes to defense, right? You gotta know. There you go. You gotta know.
Would you call that improvement or just consistency?
I would say improvement, because you got to think they're going to improve on what they did last year, because chemistry just continues to improve your team, especially on the defensive side. Because, like I said, as a defender, I know if I like, one of my favorite safeties to ever play with was Deontay. I knew for a fact I didn't have to worry about getting beat deep, because you're not throwing the ball over his head, right? That type of chemistry allows me to be free and do certain things that that I normally couldn't do with, let's say another safety, right? And so that's one of the great things, right, about keeping those people together. You keep that chemistry. I think number 2 for me is, I just had them on my list. Give me 1 second.
I may got a list though.
For me, the Bucs is just more continuity that they improved on, and that's what makes them so good. But I can't say they improved through free agency as a team. They just had the continuity to continue on doing as well as they have and getting better.
With that, I completely understand it. I completely understand it. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. Here's why. I think the Dallas Cowboys were able to sign Dak Prescott, and I think that's a huge move for them. Yeah. And I really think that it's an underrated signing Keanu Neal. Here's why. Keanu Neal, if he's allowed to play a hybrid will linebacker / safety, is going to change that defense without question. The reason I say this, and the reason I say that they're going to get better, is because I believe they're going to adopt the Todd Bowles mentality. One high safety, we're going to trust our guys to get busy, but it's allowing your front 4 to go after the quarterback. You're allowing them to go after the quarterback, and you're able to send a variety of blitzes. And I think that's the blueprint that they're going to try to model themselves after. The reason I say that is because we saw how that worked against the Chiefs. If you watch the I Am an Athlete podcast, they had Levante David on there recently, and he talked about their approach to beating Patrick Mahomes. Overload one side, have somebody loop around the backside to keep him in the pocket, right? Force and flush him, and then we have the other person there to stop him from getting loose. Keanu Neal could be that loop guy. Listen, I feel like if they can do that, it's going to be phenomenal. But the number one –
Quick question real quick. What type of defense is the Cowboys playing? Because aren't they 3-4?
They are.
Or am I mistaken with that?
I believe they are. I believe they're 3-4. But with Keanu Neal, like I said, depending on what he gives them the luxury of switching back and forth, 4-3-3-4. If, like I said, hybrid.
If they're playing hybrid, that makes sense to me. If they're just playing strictly 3-4, which is what they've been playing.
But who other than DeMarcus Lawrence really is rushing the quarterback for them?
That's the point. When you have somebody like Keanu Neal, now you can send more people, is my point. Because now he's that guy that can play that hybrid. He can play in the middle of the field and cover, or he can come down and blitz. He can do all of those different things. And that's the reason I say he gives the team a little more freedom to kind of play around with it a little more. And that when he was healthy in Atlanta and Ricardo Allen was healthy in Atlanta, that's essentially what was going on. You got to remember, that's kind of what the Seahawks did as well. Earl Thomas over the top, Cam Chancellor was playing around in the middle. He could blitz. He could play the linebacker position, but he also played safety and cover tight ends. He could do that. And so I think that is going to give a little more freedom for the coordinator to kind of play around with it. But the number one team for me, without question, is the New York Giants. The New York Giants are out here snapping. I don't care what nobody says. They're out here snapping. They got Kenny Galladay on offense. On defense, they just signed
Dory Jackson.
Dory Jackson. Like, listen, man, that team is going. And then Saquon comes back. I know he's not a free agent, but Saquon comes back. Listen, man, the Giants look like they're trying to do something for real, for real. I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been you, Darren, or somebody else that said that.
I said it last week.
Yeah, it's on Daniel Jones. It's like it's on Daniel Jones. Like he has no excuse at this point, right? He's got to get busy. Now, if everybody and I think it's all predicated on everybody being healthy, of course. But listen, man, I think the Giants did a really good job this free agency. Like I'm excited to kind of see what they're going to do. I think right now they're the team that, for me, I think they won free agency. Not saying that they're the best team, just think that they won free agency.
Are they allowed to sign Eli Manning?
I mean, technically they can. He's retired.
I'm hating a little bit, as you said.
but real quick though, when you add Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard in the slot, Darius Slayton on the outside, then you still have Ingram at tight end, Saquon Barkley at running back. Evan Ingram is the reason why they pass catcher in the league at tight end. He's one of the better guys out there. I'm telling you, man. He's very underrated because he's in the Giants system and they didn't have nobody. But with all the weapons that Daniel Jones has, he has more weapons right now than they've given to Lamar. He has more weapons, honestly, than they've given to Kyler Murray. The only people that really have almost as many weapons as him is Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. And I feel like Buffalo Bills are a sneaky good team that improved in free agency, re-signing Matt Milano, getting Emmanuel Sanders. They re-signed basically their entire offensive line that did extremely well this year. They didn't lose bad pieces. And like you said, for the Bucs, that is a big deal. So,
hot take. The Giants figure out a way to trade for Deshaun Watson.
I'm gonna touch on that subject because my man looking like he got some issues right now. So let's get to it.
Hey man, don't we're not gonna man. I'm rocking with you, Deshaun. Until I know otherwise, I'm right here with you, man.
I agree with that, but what the thing that's going on as a team? Do you feel comfortable making that trade right now? The fact that you're probably gonna have to give up like 3 first-round picks for him, and yes, the value might be going down a little bit because of the situation, but still, they're not trading at least a first-round pick, and you don't know what's going on with that and the amount of cases that's going on. Even though it sounds sketchy, it sounds very sketchy. Don't get me wrong, but you want to touch that? You really want to touch that right now?
I'm gonna pull Avery on this one. If it's the Jets, do you sign him? If it's the Jets, do you trade for him? If it's the Panthers, do you trade for him? If it's the 49ers, do you trade for him? If there's any team other than the Ravens, the Bucs, the Bills, guys that have truly established guys.
I don't know about the Ravens, man. I might let go of Lamar for Deshaun.
Nah, I'll be honest. I can understand why you say that, but the Ravens are not giving up Lamar right now.
Of course, the Ravens aren't. I'm just saying, like, because you got to think, running wise, there's not a huge drop off running the football, but there's a huge advantage when he throws the football. So it's just like
it's a huge drop off running the football because let's be honest.
Is it?
What quarterback has 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons?
Designed
as dynamic as they are in with the ball.
Designed runs, right? Deshaun Watson has made it clear, I want to be a pocket quarterback, so he runs when he needs to. The Ravens designed runs for Lamar Jackson, right? Like that's the reason. I kept trying to tell people the same thing with Michael Vick. If Michael Vick had designed runs, he would have had multiple 1,000-yard seasons, but that's not what the offense was tailored around. The offense is tailored around Lamar right now. You bring in Deshaun Watson, it's like, oh, we can open the playbook up a little bit more. Now, not to say you can't with Lamar. I'm just saying we have yet to see it, and that's the reason why I wouldn't be mad if they did trade. But
give my man a receiver. I don't care about none of it. Give my man a number 1 because they playing with him. They playing with my man emotions right now. I'm sick of all these memes talking about some. know what I'm gonna do, man.
Let me ask you this: is Will Fuller number one?
No.
Is Brandon Cooks the number one?
No.
Okay,
He was a borderline number one, number two
Sean
at his
led the
best.
league in passing without a true number one. Why can't Lamar?
Well, anyway, let's get to our next topic.
I don't like that. We're gonna talk about that, Avery.
We're talking about the Ravens too much. Let's get to our next topic. We're going to go to our best fit for the remaining free agents out there. Now, there's not a lot out there, but there are some couple of big names that you might want to like put on your roster. Might help you out a little bit. And I'm going to name a couple of them. A couple of guys are up there in age. One in particular, not really up there in age. Probably at his prime right now is David Clowney. We got Antonio Brown. We got Casey Hayward. We got Brandon Poole. We got Eric Fisher, Mitchell Schwartz, rather. We got Helio. I forgot how to say his name. Villanueva.
Andre Villanueva.
Yeah. We got Russell Okung. We got Quentin Dunbar. Malcolm Ingram. We got Richard Sherman still out there. I thought he just got signed, if I'm not mistaken.
Still out there.
Sammy Watkins, Xavier Woods, Carlos Dunlap, KJ Wright, Justin Houston, Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, Malik Hooker, just to name a few guys. So out of those names, and there's a lot more, which of those remaining free agency players will be the best fit on a team? I'm gonna start with you, Avery.
Put that list in the chat.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start with Jadeveon Clowney. Like you said, he's kind of in his prime right now. I think that the best fit for him is any team that needs a pass rush that has defenders behind them. And a couple teams come to mind. Number one is Dallas. I think Dallas would be a good fit for Jadeveon Clowney. To Darren's point, they really only got DeMarcus Lawrence right now, who's like considered a premier pass rusher. I think another great fit for them could be what is his name? The Baltimore Ravens. There we go. The Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens could be a great fit for him only because they lost Matthew Judon, right? But Jadeveon Clowney himself is also somebody who is extremely good in the run game, but he's a better pass rusher than Matt Judon was. So it's a situation where I think you probably upgrade yourself at that position. So I think that Jadeveon Clowney will be a great fit in Baltimore. And then last but not least, the Bears. I think the Bears could be a really good fit for Jadeveon Clowney on the other side of Khalil Mack. I think that, he wouldn't be asked to do as much as Khalil Mack, of course. So I think that, it'd be a really, really, really good chance to see him go to the Bears. Another one is Casey Hayward. Casey Hayward is still a pretty good corner. He's 31, but he's still a good corner. I think he's serviceable. I think a great couple fits for him would be New England. I think if he can go to New England and play, I think he can do well there. I think if he can go to Cincinnati, now that they've got Ricardo Allen, I think Cincinnati is a good, smart fit for him to go to. And then last but not least, I think the Philadelphia Eagles could use a veteran corner. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm just saying. I
would love the fit. But youth movement, we have to get young.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But that's why I brought it up. I think it's just a great fit. The next one, Brian Poole.
I will look it though.
Brian Poole, come back to Atlanta. Oh my goodness, he is one of the best slot corners in all of the NFL. And he was one of the best when he was in Atlanta. He got better on New York. I think that Atlanta needs to bring him back. He's somebody who flies around the football. He's one of the best nickel corners in the NFL. I think that would be a great fit for him to come back home, play there. If not there, then I think another good team that he could go to is Miami. The Miami Dolphins could use a phenomenal slot corner like him. And now you make it almost impossible to pass on on those guys of Byron Jones and Xavier Howard and then Brian Poole. Oh my goodness, that would be extremely phenomenal. I would love to see that as well. And then I'll just do one more, and that is Richard Sherman. I think Richard Sherman should stay in San Fran. I think that's like the best fit for him, in my opinion. Like I think him being in San Fran really changed that defense and really, brought some toughness to the defense. So I think Richard Sherman, I think the San Francisco 49ers need to kind of get that together and bring him back. And so I'll leave it at that.
All right, Dan, what you think, man?
So I actually start with Richard Sherman. I agree, but I disagree. I think, honestly, to go to Seattle and return home to where he created the Legion of Boom and now take over for where Shaquille Griffin took over for him, that would be a vast improvement for them. He might be a little bit older, but he's a lot more disciplined. He's not going to give up as many catches. And that's the thing that Shaquille Griffin did very often. He was not able to get too many turnovers, but at the same time, he gave up too many yards, gave up too many catches on third down. And that was one of his main issues. So that's why one of the reasons Seahawks let him go. Another guy, Antonio Brown, best fit, easy, Tampa Bay Bucks. They know what they're getting with him. He's very, very comfortable playing with Tom Brady. And he's probably not going to want that much. To return and try to run it back to get another Super Bowl ring, man, listen, that man would be crazy to go anywhere else. Another guy that I feel like is very underrated, Melvin Ingram. I know he's been hurt last few years off and on, but when this guy was productive, he was a beast for that Chargers defense. Come on now. And his best fit is realistically the Ravens. He would be an asset to what we do with the Ravens system. A great outside linebacker that knows how to play the run and the pass, can help mentor Tyus Bowser, who's now going to be one of our starting outside linebackers with a good pass rush. And he does not have to be in every down because we still have Pernell McPhee, who will be a great run-stopping outside linebacker for us. Reduces the injury risk and still gives high production. And last but not least, Casey Hayward. Any team looking for a good corner, why has he not been scooped up? Let's just be honest. That man is ridiculous. If you look at the last at least 6 or 7 years, he is in the top 5 in coverage skills. He does not give touchdowns up often whatsoever. He does not give catches up often whatsoever. He's one of the most technically sound cornerbacks in the game right now.
He just can't catch.
If he had more hands, I'm telling you right now.
He had that 1 year.
Ridiculous.
He had that 1 year where I guess he had glue in his hand for some reason, and he was getting picks, but like he just dropped picks all the time. That's the truth though. He's always there. He's where he needs to be. He's smart. He's instinctive. He still got speed, and even with his declining speed, he's still got like technique that just out as well. So
I just want to honorable mention. I think on a 1 year deal, maybe 3.5 million. I think the Falcons will bring back Todd Gurley. Mike Davis with Todd Gurley in the Arthur Smith offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going
to Even though they just got Mike Davis?
Yeah, that's what I said. But again, Mike Davis. Think of that backfield. Mike Davis, Edo Smith, and Todd Gurley.
That's a nice little tandem. That's a nice little trio right there.
In the Arthur Smith offense. Listen, I'm not
honest.
That's not bad.
With Mike Davis signing, I feel like y'all should get a younger running back. There's some good depth running backs out there that can be in a rotation that you guys can get. That hopefully he can become that number one guy coming in. So that's why
Again, I want Najee.
Yeah,
I want Najee here, so I'm all for that. I'm just saying.
I think 32 teams. I think 62 teams went Najee Harris on their offense. So, Darren, before you get to your last point, and I think you had a last point, I want you to get to this right here. Johnny says that if AB don't resign to the Bucs, he thinks that he'd be a good fit in Baltimore. I want to know if you do you think that's a good fit for you guys?
Yes and no. AB is still a guy that if you put him at that number one spot, he can produce. We see last year he can still produce. Even in his minimalized role, he still produced. So you give him the opportunities to be that number one guy again, and then not only that, but play along with his cousin Marquise Brown. That should open up our playbook a whole lot more. But it's the culture fit, people. It's the culture fit. That's what I'm concerned of. Will he be able to do what he did in Tampa, shut his mouth, and play? If he does that, bring me AB. I'm fine with it. Bring him on. Plus, he can roast the Steelers twice a year now. And we don't got to deal with that. We get to be on the receiving end of the good stuff from him. But that's my take on that. But my honorable mention, guys, actually, is three of them, and I'll make this real quick. KJ Wright and Kawan Alexander. Two linebackers that I feel like really should have been picked up by now, especially KJ Wright, who's been one of the most underrated off-ball linebackers in the league since he's been in here. Him and Bobby Wagner became a great tandem. And people don't understand, Bobby Wagner was great, but KJ Wright was right there with him for some time. Kawan Alexander is a guy with speed, and I feel like he should have went to the Cowboys instead of Keanu Neal. Or if they do pick him up, Neal can go back to safety and be that roaming guy more so than just a will linebacker. Kawan Alexander is that speed guy that they need to do the loops around and all of that type of stuff. And last but not least, Trey Turner. Why is he not picked up? He has been an absolute tear at guard, people. When he was with the Panthers, he was one of the best run blocking guards. And not only that, but he knows how to pass block very well. He's in the top 10 for that the last few years. So I just don't understand him. I don't understand why he hasn't been signed. And he's 28. He's 28, people. For a lineman, that's the prime. That is the pure prime. But just saying.
What's that, Raven? What's that? 5'4", 9? What's that?
9. Todd Gurley ran for 9 touchdowns last year. So people keep saying he's done. He's done from the Rams Todd Gurley. He's not the Rams Todd Gurley. He's not cutting people up. He's not, doing all that stuff and anymore. But again, in Arthur Smith's offense, he won't be asked to do that, right? Derrick Henry wasn't asked to do that. Derrick Henry was nice at bouncing certain things outside, but it weren't designed to do that, right? It was literally designed to go up the field and run stretch plays and power plays, and that's zone read play, zone running scheme. That's Todd Gurley's bread and butter. Yeah,
get your foot in the dirt and go.
Get him back to running north and south, and I think like I said, he's got a nose for the end zone. So at the very least, get that man in there so he can get in the end zone, because that's what it's all about: getting in the end zone, scoring points. And he had 9 rushing touchdowns last year when people were saying that he was done. At one point, I think
he was saving my fantasy squad when I was doing bad.
I think through week 5, he was leading the league in rushing touchdowns. So,
not a 3-down guy, but the goal line, short yardage, even every once in a while, just put him in. He give you something.
Johnny said that you think Gurley can be a 3rd down back. I don't think so.
No, not at all. I think that the way I would operate it is how the Bucs operated with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. You get a series, you get a series. You get a series, and whoever starts to show that, okay, this dude, he's got the rhythm, he's in the game, that's where we're going with the rest of the game. That's how you rock it.
Definitely. Darius. I'm sorry. Darren, you're not allowed to have any honorable mentions anymore, because one of the guys you said, I was gonna say Quan Alexander. And yes, I know that he missed a lot of tackles before. I would take him on the Eagles. I would take almost anybody over Nick Gary. So, yeah. The Eagles need a cover linebacker. He's a cover linebacker, and we got Alex Singletary. I think he's on a restricted free agency signing. So I think he's not a free agent right now.
He was solid for y'all last year, though. He can develop pretty well.
He's a good running linebacker. He's a good linebacker, but we don't have a coverage guy. So Quan, honestly, I'll take anybody for the Eagles at linebacker because we're trash there.
Give him 1 year contract to KJ Wright.
Yeah, and I think honestly with our front four, they will definitely open stuff up for our linebacker. So it won't be too much of missing tackles for us, I think, at least. So let's get to our last point, guys, and that will be the best trades available. So what are some trades that are out there that could possibly be out there? Maybe it's a rumor, maybe it's something you created, something that you think will be realistic. Some trades that are out there. Darren, I'm gonna start with you. What trade can be possibly out there for a team to improve their team before the draft starts?
I want to hit on it, but I'm only going to say one thing about it. Somebody will give my man Deshaun Watson. I don't care what Chuck out to do. I don't care about the obligation. Get my man Deshaun Watson off that team. That's first and foremost. But second, and this is a very, very big if, Christian McCaffrey to the Dolphins. Christian McCaffrey to the Dolphins. The cap space, the ability to give an all-around dimensional threat to Tua Tagovailoa, along with what they have already there. If he is the Christian McCaffrey from any year prior to last year, where this is the 1 year he had injury concerns, you got to steal. Give him that second first-round pick you got. Give him a first-round pick that you got this year and a second this year. That's worth it to me. That would be worth it to give that type of dynamic player to a Tua Tagovailoa, and on a 3-year contract left now, he would be able to grow and help Tua continue to progress. That would be amazing. Amazing.
I don't know how I feel about it. Yes, you could dump that contract from a team, but also you don't have a dynamic offense right now as it is. I mean, they got the receivers, but they don't have a quarterback.
But if they feel as though, I feel like
McCaffrey is the only big player they have right now because of the quarterback position, if that makes sense.
No, I understand that, but you gotta think. If they went and got that second pick for the first round, which is the 18th overall pick, they could draft Najee Harris if they feel as though he would be a better fit for them with what they're trying to do with Teddy Bridgewater. But like I said, that's a big if. It's a big if on that trade. But the more likely trade for me that's going to happen this offseason before it's all said and done, Orlando Brown is going to leave us. Our right tackle is going to go somewhere. I'm sorry. As sad as it is for me to say, but he can play left tackle in this league, and he is great at it. If you've seen what he did when Ronnie Stanley went out, it was amazing, the transition and the ability to just automatically never miss a beat. It's like we never missed a beat on our left side of our offensive line for him. And for us, trade him for a great young edge rusher or a great young wide receiver. That's what I would want in return for Orlando Brown Jr. He is too good for it. It's a reason why he's called Zeus. The guy is 6'8", 300+ pounds, and can move with ease. I'm so surprised we got him in the draft as late as we did. But hey, somebody's going to get a steal if they pick him up and trade us for him.
If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, what is the benefit of me trading him, though?
You trade Orlando Brown, and you get a true X receiver. That's why I was so invested when they said, go ahead and trade him to Jaguars. We can get DJ Chark. I would love to get DJ Chark along with a late or a mid-round pick for him. And then we can go ahead and sign a guy like Mitchell Schwartz for our right side on a 1-year deal.
But when's the last time you've seen besides the Texans don't count, but well, the Miami to Texans. But when's the last time you've seen a offensive lineman get traded that young to another team? It don't happen that often because
when Orlando Brown came to us and basically said, "Hey, I want to play left tackle, but I know you're not playing me here. I want to trade." I didn't think nothing of it until the Ravens even acknowledged they're letting him try find trade partners. They're going to let him go ahead and seek that trade. they are fine with letting him go because they understand of what's going to happen. No matter what, they're going to lose him in free agency, and we only have him, I believe, for 1 to maybe 2 more years. So it's best to get the best value for him now, as well as improve on an area where we really, really need it, and still be able to repeat his production with an older guy that's going to be a lot cheaper. So, Orlando Brown to the Jags for DJ Chark and the mid-round pick. We signed Mitchell Schwartz for our right tackle spot. That would be perfect.
Avery, got anything to say about that?
I don't like it. I agree with you. I wouldn't give up Orlando Brown. I would not do that at all. I would do whatever it takes to keep him.
I never said we want to.
I know.
I'm
just saying. I would not do it because the strength of your team is that offensive line. People think that it's Lamar, but Lamar, and don't get me wrong, Lamar is phenomenal because Lamar would be running like that potentially behind any offensive line. But the strength of your team is running football, and Orlando Brown is one of the best in the business when it comes to doing that, and he's a great pass blocker. So, I mean, again, nah. I mean, I understand what you're talking about and that you're saying you might not be able to keep him, but if you got him for another year or two, you keep him for another year or two, and then you try to re-sign him. But nah, I'm not giving him up. Unless I'm giving him up for like multiple first rounds and a key player. That's the only way that I'm giving that caliber of player up. So yeah, that's just me.
And the last time you heard the offensive line get traded was Tunsil, and the Miami got a first round pick for him. So I agree with you. Okay.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm fine with that, getting multiple first round picks or multiple picks. But hey, if you give me DJ Chark and at least a first or a second, I said a mid to be nice. But hey, like I said, a guy of his talent, we have to get something for him before we just let him go.
Yeah.
We gave away Jensen for nothing because we couldn't trade him. We didn't trade him fast enough. If we take the Bill Belichick approach in a year before, I feel like our team would be a whole lot better.
But go ahead, Avery. Let me hear your trades.
All right, so I only got one, and it's one. I mean, outside of I agree with Darren, get Deshaun Watson out of Houston, but outside of Deshaun Watson, there's only one guy that I want to get relieved as well. His name is Allen Robinson. I would love for Allen Robinson to leave the Bears. Andy Dalton is not the answer. He's not the answer. I'm not saying that Andy Dalton is a scrub. Is a scrub, but he's not the answer. And my issue,
this man a quarterback.
Exactly. He's been balling his entire career with scrubs. So for me, there's 3 teams that I think that he would be phenomenal on, and I'm going to go in order. Number 3, the Indianapolis Colts. They just brought in Carson Wentz. You got T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., and Allen Robinson. Oh, my goodness. That would be phenomenal. I think that would be a great fit. Their defense is phenomenal. They're looking like they're going, to be even better next year. We saw what they did last year and how teams kind of overlooked them and what they did with Phillip Rivers. If Carson Wentz can be at least as good as Phillip Rivers, which we all can agree that he'll probably be better, I think the Colts go even further this year. The next team, I think, is the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know how they'll pull it off, and I don't know who they'll be trading, but I would love to see Matthew Stafford throw that football to Allen Robinson. And like I said, because of that defense, they're in prime position to win right now. I would love to see that. Allen Robinson.
That'd be a nasty trio. That'll be a nasty trio. Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, and Robert Woods.
That would be phenomenal. Now, I don't know if you can keep all those guys.
The only thing about that is that the Rams have some wide receivers that they like for their scheme because they had that rookie from last year from Florida that is blanking in my mind his name. Van Jefferson. He's another one that you can see he got a lot of potential, especially in that offense that like he can be a baller. So I agree with you, Avery. That would be a great fit, but I don't know if they are even worried about wide receiver because of the scheme.
Of course,
at least for this year.
They're not hurting for receiver at all. So I don't see it happening. I'm just saying that I would love to see it happen. That would be a great trade not only for him, but for them, because he does fit that system. He's that type of receiver. He can run the football out the backfield. They just don't use him that way. He's a strong, tough receiver. He's got strong hands. He's a great route runner. He can go up and go after and get the ball. I think Allen Robinson would fit in that system phenomenally. But the number one team I would love to see him go to, the Los Angeles Chargers. You put him with Keenan Allen or whoever else is going to be with Justin Herbert throwing the football. Listen here. I'm trying to tell you, man, the Chargers might have a little thing if they was able to pull an Allen Robinson and get somebody like him, because Keenan Allen is a certain age. You bring in Allen Robinson. You got Mike Williams, who just restructured his deal, and he's still a young receiver. Justin Herbert is a young quarterback. I think that could be a really good recipe for good news on offense for them. And I think that's the best fit right there. And like I said, we've seen Justin Herbert. He clearly knows how to throw the football. So that's something I would love to see to happen. But those are my three teams that I would love to see Mr. Allen Robinson himself get traded on to. And so, yeah, I want to see it happen. I'm tired of him being wasted. With that being said, I got to go in like 2 minutes.
We're going to wrap it up in a second, but I want to get my quick trade in there. I needed to see this player get traded. Been a long time coming. It's going to happen. It needs to happen. We need to sucker in a team to trade Zach Ertz for a first-round pick.
First?
Let's go.
First.
Sucker him in, man. Sucker him in. Let's do it. Come on, who needs a tight end? Come on down.
What? Drake?
I give you a fourth.
Nope.
I give you at the best. I give you a third.
Stop.
But
Stop putting that in the air. Stop putting that in the air. We want a first. No. Realistically, Zach Ertz is a guy that I know is going to be traded and needs to be traded. I think teams are really trying to lowball him because he had a bad year last year. Some of that was injury. He is getting it up there in age. I think he's 30, 31, something like that. So he is kind of like on that age group, but I think he's still a really good tight end that any team will do well with him, especially a team that can put some play action type of trick. A team will love Zach Ertz. I think that would be a great move for him. The Eagles clearly is not going to pay the guy. Don't even have cap room to pay him. So we need to trade him anyway because we need cap ourselves. So I think Zach Ertz, as horrible as that sounds, as much as I hate it, needs to be traded. And if we do that, hopefully we get what's his name? Pittman. Kyle Pitts. There you go. Kyle Pitts, man.
Him and Dallas Goedert would be amazing tandem. Amazing.
But Johnny says that sounds like a Jerry trade.
Yeah. Oh, that might work though. That actually might work. That really might work though. They need a good tight end. Dalton Schultz is not the guy for them. He was serviceable, but if you can get Zach Ertz in there to help reduce him.
I will always hate trading the Cowboys anybody, but if you can suck around for a first round pick, I'm in for it. I'm for it. Give us that first round pick. They picking like 10 or something like that. That'd be ridiculous if they do that, but I would love it. And Zach Ertz is hurt too much. I definitely agree with that. He said, "Drum, you're going to get Pitts already though." Maybe not. I mean, if you've seen how Pitts just ran a 4.4, people might be trying to jump up in front of us now. I think that we're in a prime position to get him, either him or Chase, but you know how people see once somebody see a 40 times, especially with somebody that's 6'6", running a 4.4, somebody's gonna probably be like, "Yeah, we can't let the Eagles get him. Let's trade up and go get him for it." So that's why I'm for. I think that he might not be there at that point. I do think the Eagles need to get another second round, another first round pick, so we can draft a cornerback. I think we need a cornerback in there. They got some really good cornerbacks in this draft. But I'm getting way too much into the college football right now. But the draft.
If I can
right
get
now.
13, that'd be amazing, man. That would have been hitting gold for y'all.
I agree. So, all right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for us today. We'd like to thank Johnny for being in the chat room too with us today. Avery just left us, so whatever, Avery. I see how it is, Avery. I see how it is. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on Spotify, on Anchor, anywhere you listen to your podcast. Go check us out on there. Just search Inside the Hatches, where we interview a lot of players that's going into the draft this year. We just got done interviewing KJ Wright from Auburn, linebacker. So make sure you go check that out on our social media accounts as well, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just type in Inside Hatches for Twitter. Also, make sure you guys check us out on our website, where you can find all our content on there. You can find all our interviews. You can find all our blogs. You can find all our gaming, all that, all on our website, InsideTheHatches.com. Also, check us out on Discord. So I'm going to put up the Discord link right here. Check us out on Discord. We have phenomenal conversations on there. You can get in that chat room and follow the conversation. We talk draft on there. We talk free agency. We talk pickups, trades. You see all the alerts. You get all our alerts when we drop something or anything like that. So go on there, Discord. Just type in that link right below, and you can get in there. Just have a conversation with us. We want to hear what you guys got to say, or what you guys want to talk about football. We talk football 24/7 on there, so just jump on there and we can have that fun also. Also, if you're on YouTube, go like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Again, search Inside the Hashes on there. Get us some likes, get us some views, man. Help us out on there. Support us by doing that. So like and subscribe on that YouTube as well. So again, guys, this is Jerome Jones, your humble host. I got Darren Braston. Darren, you got any closing words, man?
Hey, listen, man. Like Jerome said, subscribe, people. Little red button. Do that little click for us. Go ahead and holler at us. You want to talk Ravens? I'm with you. You want to talk about the Ravens? I'm right at you. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
You already know he can talk Ravens all day, as you can see. So, guys, once again, thank you again for checking this out. We'll see you guys next week. Each Thursday, 6 o'clock, we're always on. So check us out on there. Once again, have a good day. Peace.